a show.
4 men, 4 rounds. What are the odds, huh? But let's just hope that 4's your lucky number, okay?
The most interesting thing is that we did not cast the role of Rick Grimes first. We actually cast the role of Shane. At that point, we didn't even know that he was out there.
This script sort of came through from my agent called The Walking Dead. And it said zombie, no, wait a minute. It said Walking Dead, and I thought, that's a really cool name. Is it War Story? Underneath it just said zombie survival horror. And I started to salivate.
Little girl? I'm a policeman. Little girl.
So we all thought the only way we're going to do this is by linking arms, looking each other square in the eyes and going, let's give it everything we've got and let's have fun.
Well, it's based on a comic book. And I remember driving home, and I went by the bookstore, and I went in and asked where the Walking Dead comic book was. I opened it up, and there was a woman getting her neck torn out, bit out. Very, very different from what I was used to. So I was like, oh, yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. Oh, no, wait, yeah, this is great.
Hey, mister, what's that bandage for?
What?
You tell me, or I will kill you. You have to remember when we first started, everything was vampires. It was Vampire Diaries and Twilight and True Blood and stuff. So the notion of doing a zombie show, everybody said that we were crazy.
There's a fun story about Rick's audition. We Skyped with him, and I remember he said, oh, I just had a baby, I just can't do it.
He was incredibly sleepless. He was exhausted.
And I said, you didn't have a baby, your wife had a baby. Could you just get somebody to read with you off camera instead of your wife? And he called a friend of his who said, well, you're never gonna get this job. I got 10 minutes, let's just do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got a buddy of mine, Sam Hazeldine, who's a very accomplished actor, but a terrible cameraman. And I think he filmed me sort of, it's either my nose up, I think it was like that, or my nose down. And I sort of sent that to the casting director, and they just went, what are you doing, you idiot?
That's the tape that he sent that was so strong that the producers flew him out for a screen test.
The idea now of anyone other than Andy Lincoln bringing that role to life, playing Rick Grimes, is just inconceivable.
Oh, God.
Come on, people, what the hell?
Norman has a fun story. I just remember when he first came into audition and he walked in the room and said, I suck at auditions. I've never gotten a job off an audition. I'm terrible.
So I read it, and I left, and then I went back to New York.
And I remember when he left, my note was, he's not right for this role, but he is fascinating, and we have to find something for him. And then when
The producers agreed.
And they agreed.
Yeah. He made such an impression on us that we brought him back in a role that isn't from the comic books, of Daryl Dixon.
And then I got a call as I was walking through Chinatown saying, hey, they wrote a part for you. And I was like, yay.
Morning.
Someone who actually never had to audition is Melissa McBride.
You washed my clothes?
Well, best we could. Scrubbing on a washboard ain't half as good as my old maid tech back home.
That's very kind. Thank you.
I produced a film called Stephen King's The Mist, and she had one very important critical scene in that movie, and she was breathtaking.
It was about 3 years after The Mist had shot, and I was called by the local casting director.
Little did she know, all these conversations had gone on, that she got a call that we're doing a television series in the zombie apocalypse in Atlanta, and you've been cast in the role of Carol.
Please, Lord, punish me.